Diddy recently shared that only his mom and Jay-Z can call him Sean. Interestingly, there's still a photo of Jay-Z on Diddy's website, and Diddy has been praising Jay-Z for stepping into the shoes of legends like Biggie and Tupac.
A year ago, Sean Combs stood in Times Square and was handed a key to New York City. Today, he's been indicted and will face justice in the Southern District of New York.
I think that we made the points that we've been wanting to make. I think it came out. Mr. Combs is a fighter. He's going to fight this to the end. He's innocent. He came to New York to establish his innocence.
One of the most famous names in the hip-hop world is now facing 3 charges in federal court. Many people have come forward in recent months to accuse Sean Diddy Combs of abuse, sex trafficking, drug possession, and more, but now the federal government is getting involved and promising to bring down the rap mogul's alleged criminal empire.
Sean Diddy Combs, a major figure in the music industry, has recently been arrested and charged with several serious federal offenses. That's one down, but exactly how many are still left? There are a lot of names people are keeping an extra eye on, and Jay-Z is on the top of the list. Diddy was arrested in Manhattan on September 16, 2024, based on a sealed indictment. The indictment details a complex criminal enterprise allegedly led by Diddy, involving numerous illegal activities over more than a decade.
Today, I'm announcing the unsealing of a 3-count indictment, charging Sean Combs with racketeering conspiracy, sex trafficking, interstate transportation for prostitution. The indictment alleges that between at least 2008 and the present, Combs abused, threatened, and coerced victims to fulfill his sexual desires, protect his reputation, and conceal his conduct. As alleged in the indictment, to carry out this conduct, Sean Combs led and participated in a racketeering conspiracy that used the business empire he controlled to carry out criminal activity, including sex trafficking, forced labor, kidnapping, arson, bribery, and the obstruction of justice.
Central to the charges are events referred to as freak-offs, which prosecutors describe as drug-fueled sexual encounters orchestrated by Diddy. These events reportedly involved the coercion of women, using drugs and threats of violence to force participation. Diddy allegedly recorded these encounters without the women's consent, using the footage to ensure their silence. These recordings were later found during raids on his properties.
Let me say a little bit more about the charges. The indictment alleges that Combs abused and exploited women and other people for years, and in a variety of ways. As alleged, Combs used force, threats of force, and coercion to cause victims to engage in extended sexual performances with male commercial sex workers, some of whom he transported or caused to be transported over state lines. Combs allegedly planned and controlled the sex performances, which he called freak-offs, and he often electronically recorded them. The freak-offs sometimes lasted days at a time, involved multiple commercial sex workers, and often involved a variety of narcotics, such as ketamine, ecstasy, and GHB, which Combs distributed to the victims to keep them obedient and compliant.
The indictment also outlines allegations of physical abuse. Prosecutors claim that Diddy has a long history of violence against women, including striking, punching, and dragging them. One notable incident from March 2016 involves Diddy allegedly dragging and abusing his former girlfriend, Cassie, in a Los Angeles hotel. Witnesses and staff members reportedly observed many of these abusive acts.
Hey Cassie, how are you? How do you feel about all the allegations with Diddy going on right now?
This is the first video, the first photo of Diddy's ex-girlfriend Cassie Ventura since his arrest for the shocking allegations inside this 14-page indictment.
Do you feel justice is being served right now?
She wasn't answering questions in New York City last night after Sean Combs was denied bond for a second day in a row. Photographers did catch her with a smile on her face and a cap covering her eyes, out with a friend.
Have a good night.
They were just 6 miles from where Diddy was locked up after the judge slammed him, saying the defendant is a danger. And now prosecutors are revealing new and disturbing details from the day that Diddy was seen beating his then-girlfriend Cassie in an LA hotel.
Combs can be seen grabbing Ventura and throwing her to the ground.
They claim Combs had been holding a freak-off in his hotel room with a commercial sex worker and that Cassie had been trying to escape.
My behavior on that video is inexcusable. I was disgusted then when I did it. I'm disgusted now.
Diddy apologized only after CNN broadcast the shocking confrontation worldwide. But prosecutors claimed in court Diddy texted Cassie in the days after the assault.
Earlier in 2024, federal agents raided Diddy's homes in Miami and Los Angeles, uncovering significant evidence. The indictment suggests that these items were part of a systematic effort to facilitate and cover up the criminal activities.
In March, Fox 11 broke the story that federal authorities raided Combs' Holmby Hills home for the criminal investigation.
We recovered 3 AR-15s.
Court documents now reveal authorities located AR-15s, narcotics, and more than 1,000 bottles of baby oil lubricant in those raids.
Combs allegedly planned and controlled the sex performances, which he called freak-offs. And he often electronically recorded them, and often involved a variety of narcotics, such as ketamine, ecstasy, and GHB.
This is all pre-planned, premeditated, and well executed for a long time, and now these victims are coming forward.
But now, a jury or a judge is going to decide what happens in this case.
Deeply disturbing allegations that will soon play out in court.
They don't come to your house unless they got something, so we'll see what happens, and I pray for everybody involved.
Combs' legal team offered a $50 million bond package, which was rejected by the judge. Tonight, he remains in jail. Reporting live, Matthew Seedorf, Fox 11.
Following his arrest, Diddy was arraigned in a New York court where he pleaded not guilty to all charges. His defense team, led by attorney Mark Agnifilo, proposed a $50 million bond and house arrest with electronic monitoring, but the judge denied bail. The court deemed Diddy a flight risk and a danger to the community, pointing to his resources and history of intimidation and violence as reasons for keeping him in custody.
This week, he said this is an ongoing investigation and that they will be speaking to more people. We found out that these two individuals, and we have actually spoken to one of them. They are both sex workers, currently sex workers. One of them says that they had an interaction with Diddy in 2014. And they are willing to tell the feds what they know about that interaction. And another one said that they are willing, and not only willing, but have been subpoenaed to go before the grand jury. So the second person could end up going before the grand jury. At this stage, they are just going to be interviewed by prosecutors. Clearly, they're trying to figure out what these other witnesses know and how they can help them convict Diddy, and that's the name of the game at this point for the feds.
The indictment not only targets Diddy, but also suggests that others in his orbit may face charges. Federal prosecutors are investigating associates who allegedly helped organize and carry out the illegal activities. This ongoing investigation could lead to more indictments as authorities gather additional evidence and witness testimonies who have remained silent till now.
And as the indictment alleges, in late 2023, after public allegations were made about Combs' crimes, he and others pressured witnesses and victims to stay silent, including by making phone calls to witnesses and victims and giving them a false narrative of what they had experienced. And as alleged, Combs used others to help conceal his abuse by monitoring and preventing victims from leaving a location in order to hide their injuries, or by locating and contacting a victim who had attempted to flee. As part of this investigation, in March of this year, special agents from HSI executed search warrants at Combs' residences in Miami and Los Angeles. They also executed a warrant for Combs' electronic devices. During those searches, agents seized evidence of the crimes charged in this indictment.
Prosecutors allege that Diddy and his associates committed various acts of violence to maintain control and silence victims. For example, in December 2011, Diddy and a co-conspirator allegedly kidnapped an individual and later set their car on fire. Such acts of arson and intimidation were reportedly common tactics used by the criminal enterprise. Since his arrest, Diddy has been held at the Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn, where he has been placed on suicide watch. His legal team is attempting to have him transferred to a different facility, citing the harsh conditions at the detention center.
Rapper Sean Diddy Combs remains behind bars this morning while he awaits trial for his alleged sex crimes. Cheryl Cusoni with the details now. Cheryl.
Maria, this case continues to be fascinating. Sean Diddy Combs reportedly now has been placed on suicide watch after being denied bail in his sex trafficking and racketeering trial. This was first reported, by the way, by People magazine, this new information. Now, although his mental state is unclear, Combs is being held, we know, at Brooklyn's Metropolitan Detention Center. His lawyer has said that he wants to see Diddy move to a federal facility in New Jersey. We shall see. He's been denied bail twice this week. Now, all of this coming as his former protege, Shine, says that his life was, quote, destroyed by Diddy after he was convicted of first-degree assault in a 1999 New York City nightclub shooting and then sentenced to 10 years in prison. Diddy was also accused in that shooting, but during the trial said he fired the gun in self-defense, and then he was acquitted on all charges. Combs' next court appearance is set for October 9th.
Reports describe the facility as having poor living conditions, with issues such as cockroach-infested food and mold in the showers. Diddy's legal team is preparing for a prolonged legal battle. They plan to appeal the decision to deny bail and are exploring other defense strategies. The next court appearance is scheduled for October 9th, 2024, and no trial date has been set yet. Given the complexity and seriousness of the charges, the legal process could take months or even years to resolve.
So we made a bail appeal to Judge Carter. It did not go our way. The fight continues. We're not giving up by a long shot. I told Mr. Combs I'm going to try and get his case to trial as quickly as possible. I'm going to try and minimize the amount of time he spends in very, very difficult and, I believe, inhumane housing conditions. He's ready. He's focused. He has been ready to defend this case since he first found out about this case. Nothing has changed from his perspective. I obviously would much prefer to fight this case with him out of jail, and we are going to try to bring that about through additional legal process. But wherever he is, his resolve is the same. He believes he's innocent. I believe he's innocent. And we're going to fight this case with all of our might until we don't have to fight any.
Diddy and Jay-Z, two of the biggest names in the music industry, have shared a long and complicated history. Both have been influential figures in hip-hop and business, often crossing paths in their careers. While they have collaborated on various projects and publicly supported each other, their relationship has also seen its share of competition and rivalry. Jay-Z, whose real name is Sean Carter, has always been a close associate of Diddy. They have been seen together at numerous high-profile events, and their friendship is well documented. Both have celebrated each other's successes and milestones in the industry.
Brace yourselves for some intense drama. Things are about to get messy. Now, let's dig into the whole friendship vibe between Jay-Z and Diddy. Recently, Diddy mentioned that only his mom and Jay-Z can call him Sean. Also, there's still a photo of Jay-Z on Diddy's website, and Diddy has been giving Jay major props for stepping into the shoes of legends like Biggie and Tupac. In 2022, during a Twitter Space celebration for Biggie's 50th birthday on Tidal, Diddy couldn't help but shower Jay with praise, especially for holding down the rap scene after the losses of Biggie and Pac. He mentioned, "Bro, you filled those shoes. We give thanks. You definitely came, and I know how much Big really looked up to Jay." Even when Jay-Z faced criticism for teaming up with the NFL, Diddy publicly had his back, expressing on Instagram, "Hov is one of the greatest to ever do it. He has been there for more than anybody from the hip-hop culture, including me."
At the time of Diddy's arrest, Jay-Z was reportedly in California. Sources close to Jay-Z indicated that he was attending business meetings related to his entertainment and sports management company, Rock Nation. Jay-Z has maintained a relatively low profile since the news of Diddy's arrest broke, avoiding public statements about the incident.
What's going on behind the scenes in Hollywood? All these people who partied with him, who might be on these hidden tapes. What level of panic are you hearing from all these people we know who associated with him over the years?
I will tell you, Steve, we are not hearing any panic because no one, and this has been true since the raids, really, nobody who we know, people who we know Diddy. We've seen them at his parties, and I'm not talking about the freak-offs. I mean, we haven't seen any of that video, though. Remember, the feds say they do have video that they seized during the raids from those freak-offs, so they know who the celebrities are, if there are any involved in the freak-offs. But we've seen plenty of video over the years at Diddy's very public parties And all of those people, they're not saying anything. They haven't for months. And yes, to your point, there certainly got to be people who are nervous about getting a call from the U.S. Attorney's Office, whether it be to come in as a witness, whether it be just to be interviewed to find out what they know, or go before the grand jury.
Diddy's arrest has undoubtedly cast a shadow over his associates, including Jay-Z. Although there is no direct implication of Jay-Z in any of the charges against Diddy, the proximity of their professional and personal lives means that the arrest has a potential ripple effect on Jay-Z's reputation and business dealings. The negative publicity surrounding Diddy could indirectly impact Jay-Z's business operations, as stakeholders may scrutinize associations more closely during such high-profile legal battles.
Why does it all come to a head now? Why now? Why?
Because he's the acceptable monster at this time, like R. Kelly was the last time I sat on this couch.
So who's next?
Y'all don't see the lineup?
Yeah, we see the lineup. I'm just waiting to see who's next.
Jay-Z is setting Diddy up. Why is everyone having such a hard time? He ain't doing shit different. He lined up D. Haven, stole his life and identity. He lined up Big L, stole his life and identity. He lined up Dame Dash, stole his life, identity, and took his love. Lined up R. Kelly. He wants to be the one.
After all, while Jay-Z has not been implicated in any of the criminal activities alleged against Diddy, the public and media tend to link prominent figures together. This association could lead to increased media scrutiny on Jay-Z, compelling him to distance himself publicly from Diddy to protect his brand.
I said he was going to jail because God told me he was going to jail.
Have you ever been in one of these Diddy parties?
Yes, I have. I sat down with Storm Monroe 4 years ago and said that man was an S-trafficker and he was using the business to S-traffic young women and men. I said all of it. But when I pray for something, it always comes true. And I prayed the same prayer for Sean Carter. Y'all better get ready. I knew between the two Seans, go for the weaker one. Go for the knees. And I told Sean Carter, you are so closely tied to Diddy.
We got the infamous Jaguar right.
To date, Jay-Z has not made any official public statements regarding Diddy's arrest. By maintaining silence, Jay-Z may be employing a strategic approach to avoid drawing unnecessary attention to himself and his enterprises. This tactic allows him to distance himself from the controversy without explicitly severing ties with Diddy, but it's going to be hard.
Sean, Diddy Combs, and Sean Jay-Z Carter have been friends for many years. Their friendship between Diddy and Jay-Z dates back to the early 1990s. Since their early days in their respective rap careers, Diddy and Jay-Z have built a connection that includes musical collabs and off-camera support. Despite the competitive nature of
The arrest of Sean Diddy Combs has sent shockwaves through the music industry, affecting not just Diddy but also his close associates like Jay-Z. While Jay-Z has not been implicated in the criminal activities alleged against Diddy, the arrest's impact on his business and public image is significant. The unfolding legal drama surrounding Diddy continues to captivate public attention, with many watching closely to see how it will influence one of the most powerful figures in music, Jay-Z. That's it for now. Don't forget to tell us what you think in the comments below. For more updates, hit the bell icon.